Welcome to We Chat Football, the channel where we chat football. And yes, it's been an exciting weekend for Liverpool. Liverpool is back to winning ways this weekend. Bounce back against Aston Villa. Win with a clean sheet, something that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. And yes, this will start to turn a few heads. This will maybe people start thinking that they were overreacting over the whole honest start thing, but who knows? Maybe it's just a one-off game like what the Frankfurt game was, and we're back to losing ways again. Um, when we play Real Madrid, and everybody's going to be losing their heads again. At the moment, it's just a bit of flip flop that's happening right now in the fan base. However, we got Aston Villa. We played Aston Villa. We played really well against Aston Villa. We look like a team that's willing to fight. That is the most important thing, I think, for Liverpool in the last couple of games that they were losing. They were losing the game, but there was like no fight in the game. It was pretty much a case of getting bullied, um, getting like no fight. There was actually no fight in the game, and then a lot of people start thinking whether the players are not playing for the manager or what's happening there. And I think that was the biggest thing so far over the last couple of weeks. However, the game against where he put the kids out, that's something that I saw change. I know we lost that game, but the fight was there. And I wanted to touch on that, but due to some stuff, I wasn't able to do any videos in the last week and stuff. So, but I wanted to touch on that. Like, the kids have so much fight, like, so much fight the kids have, where when they were on the field, yes, they lost, but it was defensively, they were looking a bit better. Yes, they were outclassed because the team that they came up against, Crystal Palace, put out a stronger lineup than what they put out. So yes, they were looking a bit outclassed on it. And I would say, you know what? Yeah, they're outclassed because the team is better. But they actually looked like they were giving a lot of fight in the midfield and in the defense area. So yes, the cup was sacrificed, but I think that actually sent a solid message across the dressing room as well, where it's like, how can these kids showing more fight on the field than what the pros are supposed to be doing, like the starters are supposed to be doing. And then again, you look at it, and again, Arnestad did what Arnestad was supposed to do, which is starting the team that won the league last season, bar one or two players that you had to put in, aka the striker, and just start those guys. Know how to play together, start them, and then slowly bed in the other guys in the team, like the Florian Verts and everybody else who got signed in the summer. Just slowly bed them in, so therefore they're not overwhelmed with the high press of the league and all that kind of stuff. And then by this time, a lot of things will be kicked in. So yes, on that side, I blame Arnie for that. He tried to put everybody in and hope it gel a little bit too quickly. Now, changes looks like the changes is there. It looks like the players starting to feel like there's a fight that they can go out, that they can get a result. And that is the most important bit, is that if the players believe that they can go out and fight and get a result, the title race is still not over. Depending on what you might hear people think, the title race is not over. Yes, we lost 4 games, but if you look at the amount of games that has been drawn over the last couple of seasons, then you will realize that even though there is 4 losses, if we can pick up more wins than what we did last season, then that would be a massive upgrade for Liverpool if we could get more wins. Because even though we lost only 4 games last season, if you look at the points tally wasn't great. So it wasn't like, okay, then we won so much games and we are on like 90 plus points. No, we're in the mid 80s. It simply means that if we could turn a lot of those draws that we drew last season into wins, will look better. Now, that said, we can't afford any of these performances like what we saw over the previous 6 games. We can't go out and play like that anymore. We have to now step up, play like how we're supposed to be playing, because guess what? We are Liverpool. And so yes, ready. I know we're against City this weekend, and City feels like they're turning a leaf. But if anybody watched the game over the weekend, City can be get at. And that's it. It's just two teams right now, including City and Liverpool, who are not in their best form, and both teams can be get at, because again, as I said, there's a lot of fragility in both teams at the moment. I think the only team right now that looks out and out perfect across the league so far is Arsenal. They look good in defense, proper steady in midfield, and they're getting goals. However, people want to say they're getting goals through um, set pieces, all that kind of stuff. Whatever they want to say it is, but they're getting goals, and that's a good thing for Arsenal. But for when it comes down to City and Liverpool, they're still trying to find their feet. The City is like really over reliant on Erling, and that's just the way it is. It's like really over reliant on that. So we'll see how that goes. Can Haaland cause Liverpool a lot of damage? Yes, definitely he can. But as we see in City game, both our defense are similar. They just have Erling up front, and for us, Mo Salah hasn't um, showed up this week or this season so far. But again, he got the one goal that he's been chasing that makes it like 250 goal. Erling hat trick this weekend? Could be. It could be a Erling hat trick this weekend, and it could be a Salah hat trick this weekend. We don't know. As I said, both teams are a bit shaky. Both our midfield for once look good in the Villa game. So we see how that turns out. The problem is most of Liverpool problems comes from teams that are pushing what do I say, like long balls. It's not like teams that's willing to put the ball on the floor and play. So City willing to put the ball on the floor and play, that might be a difference in the game as well. So we'll see how that game come up next week. But before we even get to next week, we have Real Madrid coming up in the week, and that is going to be a massive one. Is this Real Madrid game? Because again, the fans will be a lot of emotions, and Trent coming back. There'll be like a lot of emotions happening in the stands with Trent coming back to Anfield, but there is no confidence. I would say from the online fan base. I can't speak of the fans in the stadium, but for the online fan base, there's not a lot of confidence going into this game due to the fact that Liverpool have been struggling going into this game. They have been really, really struggling with the lights, with form. So online, we beat Aston Villa. People are still looking to see if we can deliver something against the lights of Real Madrid, and if we can get something out of the Man City game. And then that could start turning things around. Because at the moment, I do think that the title race is not over. Now for Liverpool, we had a wobble. Good thing we had a wobble early in the season. Can we turn it around? Can we continue pushing forward? Can like we maintain like a good run going into the middle of the season, getting past January, getting into the latter end of the season, And can we still push a title charge? Again, as I said, it's like a couple weeks ago, people will be talking like we're in a relegation battle, or better yet, some people write stuff already that we're in a top four. We sometimes forget that the first season for a manager, like at most clubs, is pretty much smooth sailing, where a lot of people can't figure out the style of play that the manager is playing. So he gets away with it in the first season. The second season is on that manager now to find a different way of playing, because people will figure out the way you played in your first season, try to counteract that in your second season. So your second season is always harder. So you have to figure out a different way of how to get over that hurdle. We see it happen before. It's nothing new to the league. We've seen that happen before countless of times. What's happening is people figure out that Arnold can't defend the long balls, and that's it. We're getting more and more and more of those coming in. And the team has to try to figure out a way how to deal with it. And once we figure out a way how to deal with it and how to counteract those and move forward and try to implement a style that works around that, then we'll start looking better. I mean, there's a backing from the board for Arnie, but again, I don't know if that's the dreaded vote of confidence. But again, as I said, it's a second season. And it's not even like we are 15 to 20 games in the second season. We're just 9 games in, and people are calling for him to be sacked. And again, I'm still on that. Like, I know it's we should pass that, but I'm still on that. We have to start giving managers a bit of time. It's We can't go from one season everybody screaming that he's the best to the second season he's useless, because what? Manchester United is sitting above us for 1 week. If we don't lose another game, I'm just saying if, because these are hypotheticals. If we don't lose another game from now until say Christmas, and that's a big if, because again, there's nothing within confidence, even for me, to say that we won't. But if that's the case, is 4 losses to the starting of the season a bad thing? And again, it's kind of irrelevant to where who is at the table is at. Who is top of the table? How far are we from who is at the top of the table? And can we keep up the pace? And can we take this into the last 5 or 6 games into the season? Yes, lot of money spent. Yes, team should be looking better. But sometimes that's just how life goes. Not every time everything that we predict is gonna happens the way that we predict it to happen. Sometimes things just take a turn. But the manager is paid to sort it out, and I think he is sorting it out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens again, because we have to play a lot of these team that plays that long ball um in the next set of games in the Prem, like coming into the back end of the Prem. We have to face those teams again. Players running through our midfield with 20, 30, 40 yards run and having a pop out goal. Midfielders has to do better on that. The team itself has to do better than that. Even though a lot can be said that it's on the manager, but a lot can be said as well that it's on some of the players as well. And some of the senior players. I saw Virgil came out. Virgil is complaining that when the chips are down, like the criticism that they're getting, and when they were winning, he didn't see anything of the criticism. And I'm like, what do you expect? Everybody's gonna cheer when you're losing? we're losing bad. And again, a lot of it is people would say it's split 50-50 manager players. But at the end of the day, you just won one game. You are the leader of the squad. Yes, people are going to criticize. Yes, people are going to be upset because a lot of the people, I don't think anybody, whether you're slot in, slot out, or let's see where the chips fall, nobody liked what we were seeing. It was horrendous, and the problem is n- nobody could point a finger on exactly what is causing the problem. And I think that was the biggest problem in all of this, is that nobody could figure out what was causing the problem. Is it a manager issue? Is it players issue? To the fact that people were saying that players are down in tools. To the point that they get to that to there, then you know that it's a bigger problem. And I think that's what got back to them, is that the fans are thinking that they're the ones who are down in tools. But again, for like some of the players, the senior players, you can't then go out and don't want the criticism if you want the praise when you win. The praise that comes with winning also follows with criticism when you're losing. They both go hand in hand, right? If you want all the praise, you got to prepare to take all the criticism. And as captain at the football club, that's what's going to be coming with captain in a club like Liverpool. It's going to come with a lot of criticism. So yes, Verge, lots of people are criticizing the fact of how Liverpool has been playing in the last couple of weeks. And yes, a lot of people went over the top saying that we're in a relegation battle. But people are reactionary. What I wouldn't expect from you is for you to be reactionary, coming out reacting to people who you know is going over the top, right? People want the manager out because some people just don't believe that he can turn it around, and that's on them as well. But if you believe that the manager, you're playing for him, you're working for him, you believe that he has what it takes to turn it around, prove those people wrong by showing up, putting the performances, winning the game. That's it. The difference between the changing somebody's mind over whether they believe the manager should stay or the manager should go is solely dependent on the players that are on the field. Not saying the managers don't have any blame to take in all of this, but when players are coming out, don't want criticism for the dross that every single Liverpool fan seen on the field. Like, come on, no, you gotta take the criticism. It comes with being again one of the highest earners in the club. Again, the captain of the club. Mo Salah the same. Yes, you're a legend, but again, life is not about what have you done. It's what have you done for me lately. And that's just life. I feel like a lot of these players, they weren't taught proper life lessons. Like, come on now. It's nothing new about life. It's all about what you have done for me lately. And lately, sorry, Mo Salah, but you haven't been the GOAT that every single Liverpool fan thinks that you are. And when the debate comes up as in who is the greater player, Mo Salah, Steven Gerrard, again, the thing that everybody's gonna point to is that when the chips are down at Liverpool, Stevie always dragged us through. The thing that people will point to in these 4 games is that when the things are down at Liverpool and Liverpool isn't the team that's one of the best teams on the field. Again, we've gone into seasons where we aren't the greatest, but we were still the second best team in the league, and we had players to do so. I know a lot of people look at it and be like, okay, we have horrible seasons, but horrible seasons due to injury. But no, you are out and out the leader of the team. You needed to pull the team together. You needed to run more. You needed to do more on the field. And what do? You go hide it. Because again, let's be honest, a lot of the problems that was happening was due to the fact that Salah wasn't running either. Where we had 2 or 3 players covering for you not running. Again, you struck a deal with the manager that you don't have to run, but you have to know time and place. Time and place is that Liverpool needs the leaders in the squad. It's not just Verge. You are a leader on the field as well. Again, will he stay? Will he go? Sign a contract sitting on that throne. Show why you deserve to be on the throne. Yes, again, you get 250 goals. Third highest Liverpool goal scorer in the club history. Sweet. But at the end of the day, what the fans also need is that when we don't look like we're able to get it over the line, show for the ball. Don't go hiding. Show for it. Take the game by the scruff of the neck. Do something that, again, a lot of people and a lot of Liverpool fans that put Steven Gerrard as the greatest used to do. Grab that game. Yeah, again, people might point that you have done it in the past, but the sport isn't this. Okay, people look back at what you have done when you retire. While you're here and in the here and now, it is what have you done for me lately? And that's just it. And I think that's what a lot of players are missing. A lot of these new professionals are missing. The sports is all about what have you done for me lately. And if you haven't done anything much for me lately, you're going to get criticized for it. But anyways, Liverpool win. I think we're all happy. Still a lot of improvement to be done. Again, it's a clean sheet. Scored 2 goals, but still there is a lot of improvement to be done across the team for us to still push on. But am I excited? Yes. Was it a good weekend? Yes. Can we build on this? I hope so. I hope this is not like the Frankfurt where it's a one-off. Hope we can build on this. Hope we can put a couple runs together, 5, 6, 7 game run, and then we go from there. Well, anyways, yeah, catch me on tomorrow's show where that's gonna be like the over the top where we talk about some of the takes because some of the takes are really crazy going into this weekend. Okay, peace. Catch you on the other one.